What up, fellow weeps? And today you'll most definitely learn something useful. And when I say useful, I mean useless. At least for the majority of humanity. But not to us weeps. Get it? Get it? Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to tell you what my first experiences with anime have been like and why. And on the way, you'll learn something about the first two shows. Oh, yeah? And then I'm gonna tell you about the one and only anime who started my addiction. So, without further ado, hey, what did I even say? Without anything else, let's get it started. So my brother just joined me and now, well, wait, look at him. But honestly, no one cares about him. You don't know something. このディオだ! Huh? 本当に? Fucking degenerate. No, he's a JoJo fan. I made him a JoJo fan, so go and watch JoJo, because this is epic. Okay, let's get started. I'm already talking bullshit. So everyone, or most people here in Austria at least, know some kind of anime, because the ORF, an Austrian television agency, worked together with Japanese animation studios in the 70s to make children's shows. The two examples I want to talk about are Vicky und die starken Männer, which is Vicky the Viking, and in Japanese it's called Chisana Biking Bike. Yeah, no, pretty awesome name. And the other one I want to talk about is called Heidi. It's just called Heidi in German, and I think Heidi in English as well. The Japanese name is Aripsu no Shoujo Heidi. My parents also watched them when they were small children. Most Austrians did. But what they thought anime was Pokemon. Pokemon was everything that they knew that was Japanese animation. And they didn't particularly like it. And I kinda can see why, because when you're just really young and you watch Pokemon, even though all those messages with friendship, teamwork and we can achieve our dreams when we really want it, even though these messages are brought up, like in most anime, it's still a show about using animal-like things, Pokemon or Pokémonster, to fight and to battle. Okay, my brother was just here a moment ago, and it's a perfect way to conclude. So next part is, I, as well as my brother and all my friends, grew up during this Pokemon era. So when Pokemon got really big in the early 2000s, well, it was my early childhood. So in elementary school, between the years 2006 and 2010, I was in elementary school, and all of my friends were playing Pokemon on their Nintendo DS, because everyone had one. I also have one, it's still over there, but my parents didn't like it. They said Japanese animation was not good enough, so they let me watch Heidi or Vicky, even though these two were technically anime as well. Enough of that, let's start talking about Vicky, or Chisana Biking Bike. Vicky was a Swedish children's book written by Rune Johnson in 1963. It was an episodical story, so every episode has had its own short story, but altogether there was kinda a story. So 1963 by a Swedish author, and it was adapted into an anime in 1974 with 78 episodes in total and 3 seasons, but no one cares about them. It's 78 episodes and was produced by ZDF, a German television channel, ORF, an Austrian television channel, and was animated by a studio called, no wait for it, Tsuyo Enterprise. They later changed their name to Nippon Animation, and everyone knows Nippon Animation if they know old anime that weren't really popular, but they kind of were popular. Okay, you get it. Now you've learned something. See you next time. Oh, I need to my shoulder. Okay, so at Nippon Animation there were two really great people working there who later founded their own studio. Those two people's names were Isao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki. And well, they founded a studio, as I said, and this studio was called Studio Ghibli. Those two, they worked on Heidi. Transition to Heidi. Oh yeah. So Heidi was also produced in 1974 by the same studio, by the same two German and Austrian television. It was written by a Swiss female author called Joanna Spyri in, now hold on, 1880. 18 fucking 80. Yeah, 18. Can't write in the air. I'm sorry, oh yeah. Maybe I'm gonna sing one day. No, maybe that's not a good idea. So the original publication of this anime, or this story in 1880 was a book and then another one. The first book was called Heidis Lehr- und Wanderjahre, and the second one was called Heidi kann brauchen, was es gelernt hat. Pretty much translated in English with Heidi's Apprenticeship and Traveling Years as the first book, and Heidi can use what it learned as the second book. And for some strange reason, maybe German was that weird back in the old days, but like I said in the English translation now, she used it, Heidi as it. She's a girl, it. Oh yeah. So again in 1974, the anime adaptation was commissioned by ZDF and ORF, made by Toei Animation, later called Nippon Animation, by many people, but two of them were just realized they were called Isao and Hayao. Oh yeah, Isao, Hayao. Okay, now something else to learn or to know about is that the story was alternated in many ways before it was adapted into an anime, because the original story was really, or had many religious themes in it, but like Catholic, and it would have been kinda, you know what it's called, that's the word, yeah, for the Japanese audience, because they don't have the same religion. Many elements were tuned down to make a more harmonic story. Yeah, okay. It wasn't the original story, but it was more like the most beautiful way to describe relaxing and refreshing and heartwarming story about a girl in the Alps. I don't know how I started this sentence, and I don't know if the end was connected to the beginning of, yeah. So both Vicky and Heidi got really popular in the German-speaking region and also pretty popular in Japan, but I'm not sure if anyone outside of those two regions even know about them. So now you know them, you've learned about them, you can watch them, maybe there's an English version on the internet. Watch legally! Okay, back to business. To the second part of this video. Maybe it's the second video now. So I'll just do that. Hello fellow weeps!
Every day I imagine a picture where I can be with